Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your entrepreneurship tutor, Professor Henry Bwisa of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Today I want to start by thanking my fans, my followers, who have been following my postings, uploadings regularly, and particularly one or two who made a comment on my phrase, "Nobody becomes a millionaire working for another." Yes, one of my fans responded to this phrase, "Nobody becomes a millionaire working for another," by saying that people who work for billionaires and trillionaires can actually become millionaires. I agree. But well, my fan and probably other silent majority or minority may have taken me literally. I actually use the phrase as a saying. I looked up the meaning of the word saying in the Oxford languages on the net, and it says, "A saying is a short, pithy expression that generally contains advice or wisdom." It gives a synonym of a proverb. So that's how I use that phrase. Now, the wisdom behind my "nobody becomes a millionaire working for another" is that you will not get rich or richer than your employer on the employer's salary or wages alone. I would borrow from economics and add the word ceteris paribus, meaning you can't depend on salary alone. If you have no side hustles, if you have no lottery wins, if you have no awards and others, if you're only depending on the salary, then you will not get richer than the one who is giving you the salary. Yes, an illustration will be in order. Now, there is a theory of profit which creates this formula that profit, actually the owner's profit, is equal to the total revenue generated minus the total costs incurred. So in any profit-oriented venture, we incur costs, or costs are incurred to create revenues, and it is the difference between those revenues and those costs that dictate profit, whether profit, negative profit, which is loss, or actually positive profit. Now, if you look at this formula, there are 6 theoretical ways in which profit, the P, can increase. 1, if you increase TR, total revenue, holding total costs constant, then your profit will increase. Number 2, if you increase both total revenue and the total cost, but you increase total revenue faster than total costs, then again your profit will increase. Number 3, you can reduce total revenues as you reduce total costs, but when you reduce total costs faster or total revenue slower than total costs, then your profit will increase. Number 4, you can reduce total costs as you increase total revenue. Total revenue goes high, total cost goes low, and the P will increase. Number 5, you can reduce total costs faster than total revenues. You are reducing both, but total cost is going faster than total revenue. Then your profit will increase. And finally, you can reduce total costs but leaving total revenue constant. So there they are, 6 theoretical ways to increase profit. Now, let us look at the components of the formula. Profit is equal to total revenue minus total costs. How do we get revenues? When you take the unit price, the price of each item that you have produced, and you sell, you multiply by all the volumes that you sold, then you'll get your total revenue. You know, take all your cars that you have produced and multiply by the price of each car, you'll get total revenue. How many sacks of potatoes, the volume, sacks of potatoes sold, and how much was each sack fetching, that will be a total revenue. So total revenue is equal to unit price multiplied by volume sold. Total costs are made up of variable costs plus and fixed costs. There are certain costs that vary over time as you engage in your business, but there are certain costs that remain fixed as you continue with your business. Now, those fixed costs are like rent. You'll be paying the same rent over and over, of course, unless you increase the infrastructure, the rental premises and all that. You will also be giving the same salary. Let me take myself as an example. I get a fixed salary whether I'm teaching or not. Holidays, I still get my salary. I teach more lessons, still my salary. There are certain costs that remain constant and we call them fixed costs. But there are variable costs that depend on the volume that you are producing, the volume of the work that you are doing, like the wages. These are paid on a daily or on hourly basis. So the more the hours, the more the wages, the less, so they vary. Raw materials, if you're making your chips, if you increase the volume of chips, you also increase the raw materials, transport, etc., etc. When you transport more, when you make more trips, transport goes high when you get one trip. So those are the components of costs. Variable costs plus fixed costs. Variable costs being wages, raw materials, transport, etc., etc. And the fixed cost being rent, salary, and others. You know, you'll get utilities in variable cost, for example, interest in fixed cost, for example. So these are the components. Now, let us now analyze the 6 profit increasing avenues using this now formula. We have the components there, and we have the first avenue, increase total revenue, TR, but hold total cost constant. This means you are playing around with the price and the volume. You increase the price, even with the same volume. If you increase the price, then the total revenue will go up. If you hold the price constant and you increase the volume, total revenue will go. So the first route is playing around with the price and the volume. Mind you, you cannot continue increasing price. The buyer will react. The volume of production may also not be increased forever. If you are a hotel with a 40-seater restaurant, you may not increase that space. So there is a limit to avenue number one. Avenue number two, increase total revenue faster than total costs. Again, you're talking about price and volume, PV, increasing revenue, but may also marginal productivity, meaning, for example, you bring in a new employee and this new employee produces more. Well, happens, may happen. Again, there could be a limit to that. And you reduce total revenue and you are also reducing total cost, but you are reducing total revenue slower than total cost. Really? You go in business to reduce all those? Well, happens, very rare. Let's now analyze again, continue our analysis. The same formula, the same components. Now we go to avenue number 4. Reduce total costs as you increase total revenue. Well, it happens quite often, like you lay off some people and overwork the remaining. Total costs are reducing by laying off people and overworking the remaining. Okay? And there, you will see that total revenue could also go up. Again, through price and all that, is a very possible, practical way. Reduce total costs faster than total revenue. Again, you are reducing costs and reducing revenue. Really? Finally, reduce total costs with the total revenue constant. Yes, retrenchment. You can see through this analysis that when we increase profit, the most common, the most practical avenues is to act on the reduction of total costs. And the total costs that are very common in reduction are the wages and the salaries. Either we freeze salary increments or we just lay off workers. That's a very common avenue. So you, as somebody working for that owner, you are always the target, or more target than other components. So you see, when you are an employee, you are always faced with those challenges. The employer will first of all look at you in matters increasing their profits. That's why we get, strikes, riots all over, conditions of employees, promises by the employer that are never met. You spend more than what you get. And that is why I use that saying, you'll never become a millionaire working for another. because what you are actually doing is that when you work for someone else, you get only part of what you generated. So why don't you work for yourself? Or why don't you make others work for you? That is my entrepreneurship message. That if you work for yourself, or if you make others work for you, start your own business, but let it be an entrepreneurial business. So that, I hope, explains my philosophy of nobody becomes a millionaire working for another. It is a saying. It is like a proverb if you want. Don't take it literally. Well, if you enjoyed it, like it, share it, subscribe. But if you really want to support us, bring you more, do more research and bring you, share with you, you could still donate to us. Visit our website and there will be directions for donation. You can also use our good still number, Lipa na M-Pesa. That is, if you wish to support us, bring you more, but shall keep bringing you more. I hope you enjoyed it. Be entrepreneurial. Strive to work for yourself. Strive to start your own business. Thank you.